Rockford's home for classic rock, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, I'm Double T, and it's time for Backstage Pass, an inside look at the concert industry with my old friend Don Kronberg from Nightlight Promotions, so you know a little bit what's going on in the concert industry right now. Each week you share a funny story or a fun story from your experiences with artists and concerts. What do you got for me today?
Well, I wouldn't say they're all fun. Some of them can actually turn out to be nightmares, and I think this story actually qualifies in the nightmare category. So we're going to call this the greatest show that was supposed to play Rockford but didn't.
Okay.
Rest in peace, the Queen of Soul herself, Aretha Franklin. On June 13th, 2002, me and my company were supposed to be hosting the legendary Aretha Franklin at the Coronado for a show that ended up not happening. We were about a month away, and we were nearly sold out. I got a call from her agent at the time. Hey, Don, I got to talk to you. I just got a call on my voicemail from Aretha Franklin. And he goes, I want to play it for you. Basically, she said, it's Aretha Franklin. You can go ahead and cancel that show in Rockford, Illinois, because I heard it was a dump.
What? The Coronado?
I know. I said the Coronado is basically a brand new theater. It had reopened, I think it was about a year before. The Coronado is the crown jewel of Rockford, Illinois. He said, I know, it's crazy. I'm going to try to get a hold of her. We kind of hid the story for at least 4 or 5 days, and he tried to reach her time and time again, and she wouldn't actually return his call on the matter. And I'm like, but we're dealing with a woman that when she's set in her ways, this is what she wants. This is getting serious now. We're getting closer to the show. I can't hide this. We took the last remaining 100 seats offline so the customer couldn't purchase them because we didn't feel it was right at that time. And eventually we hit that point where I'm like, I'm going to go public with this. And he goes, Don, do whatever you need to do at this point. So I did. Called the venue. I told him the story. Ended up talking to a bunch of media outlets, all your TV stations. And then I ended up getting calls from radio stations and TV stations throughout the entire Midwest. I think the headline was, Aretha calls Coronado a dump.
I remember that. Yes, I remember.
That set off this unbelievable, this assault on Aretha Franklin. I remember radio stations immediately pulled her music. They boycotted her. Her lawyer later ended up issuing a statement that she canceled the show because of a serious family illness, if I remember correctly. Well, that's not the way I heard it. I actually heard her say she called the Coronado a dump. And what happened was, it turns out that she had heard a story from a friend of hers from years past that the Coronado was a dump, a long time before. And to be honest with you, I probably would agree with that statement because that's where I got my start, was the old Coronado. And I would warn bands not to show up, but that was a long time before. All we needed to do is correct her opinion because she wasn't aware that the Coronado had undergone this multi-million-dollar transformation. So she refused to listen. We canceled the show. We refunded everybody's money. We lost money as a result. We lost our advertising money spent. We ended up suing her in court. She became the very first artist that Nightlight Promotions sued. She hired a real expensive law firm in the Chicagoland area to represent her, and they dragged it out. I think a year later, after the court case started, my attorney called me and he said, listen, they made an offer to settle. He gave me the number, and I'm like, seriously? I feel like I've been torn apart on the inside multiple times, and that's all that you're going to be able to get me? And at the end of the day, we settled. I said, you know what? Somewhere down the road, maybe I'll be able to get even with her and make a little money. And I ended up working with her again. We'll save those stories for later.
It's Backstage Pass, an inside look at the concert industry with Don Kronberg from Nightlight Promotions. It's Rockford's home for classic rock, 96.7 The Eagle.